You heard it once: inflation defeated. But now the U.S. is on track for the worst inflation among G7 nations in 2026. What went wrong, and what does it mean for your wallet? Back when inflation started to ease, former President Trump confidently declared it defeated. This declaration gave many Americans hope that rising prices were under control and the economy was stabilizing. However, recent projections show a very different picture for 2026, challenging that narrative and raising questions about the real trajectory of inflation in the U.S. According to updated economic forecasts, the U.S. is expected to have the worst inflation among the G7 countries in 2026. While other major economies like Canada, the UK, Germany, France, Italy, and Japan are projected to maintain lower inflation rates, the U.S. faces a sharper increase. This trend threatens to affect everything from grocery bills to housing costs, signaling a tough year ahead for American consumers. The G7 group includes some of the world's largest and most stable economies. While these countries have grappled with inflation pressures, most are expected to keep inflation relatively contained in 2026. The U.S. projection, however, outpaces all others, highlighting unique challenges in supply chains, fiscal policy, and demand that are pushing inflation higher than its peers. What does this mean for you? When inflation runs high, the cost of essentials like food, fuel, and rent goes up. Unless wages keep pace, your buying power shrinks, making it harder to maintain your standard of living. This forecast warns that Americans should prepare for potentially tighter budgets and rising prices through the coming year. Economists and financial experts recommend staying informed on inflation trends as 2026 unfolds. Adjusting your spending, saving, and investment strategies could help mitigate inflation's impact. Watching policy changes and how government and the Federal Reserve respond will be critical to understanding how inflation might shift throughout the year. Inflation might feel like just a headline, but it directly affects your daily life from groceries to gas. With the U.S. projected to lead the G7 in inflation in 2026, staying informed and adapting your finances is urgent. Hit subscribe to stay ahead with daily updates that impact your money and your future.